house will always be divided. There aren't many storylines that are as dysfunctional as the Halloween franchise, but we must admit, its lack of continuity has led to many debates over the years, and it leaves the fans in a position where they feel like they must choose. Are you a purist who only enjoys the first two movies? Or maybe you show your loyalties to 4, 5, and 6, the Jamie Lloyd saga. Maybe some of you fans find H2O and Resurrection far superior to any others. Then there's also the unforgettable Rob Zombie films. And last and maybe least, we have this new gen of Michael Myers movies with the current trilogy that is taking place. There's so many options that it's not hard to see why fans get in these debates, and I will always ruthlessly defend people defending movies. But what's unfortunate is the way that Halloween fans will not only overlook the films they dislike, they totally eradicate them from the franchise completely. I myself try to avoid this masked melodrama and see the films for what they are and the year they represent. That part's important, because I guarantee you, regardless of your least favorite, most hated Halloween, I promise you it's someone's number one. And the one we're discussing today is hands down one of the most controversial. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, released in 2009. Now say what you want about Rob Zombie's Halloweens. If you love Michael Myers, you owe him a thank you. If it wasn't for Rob, Michael Myers would have been a straight-to-DVD franchise. This isn't opinion, it's fact. Dimension Films had no idea what to do with the character after Resurrection. It made less than half the money H2O did. If it wasn't for Rob, the whole thing could have went down the tubes. Now you can pretend that he's the first director to try to give Michael some backstory, and you can also pretend that his kills aren't the most brutal. But that wouldn't be very honest, would it? Regardless of your favorite Halloween movie, we ask everyone, including ourselves, to put our biases aside and let's look at this movie for what it is, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. So, without any further introduction, here is our take on Halloween 2. Boom! Welcome to the Sloppy Horror Podcast. I am your host and your scary movie companion, Christian Ramey, and back again for another week clapping them cheeks. The best producer in the whole wide world, and the best one I know, Mr. Ozark Mark. Ozark, what say ya? How you feeling today?
Hello there. It's a pleasure to see you again. As it always is, welcome to the Sloppy Horror Podcast.
Folks, he's talking to you.
Stop it. I'm trying to do my okay. Well, you know what? You ruined it. I even forgot what I was going to say. So
look, you
thank
said
you
it's
for
good
that.
you said it's good to see you, and I said, folks, he's talking to you. He doesn't mean that to me.
No. He literally talked for 20 minutes about things that I have no idea what he even said before that we started recording.
That's why we're friends.
This is how it works. Mm-hmm. Why do I attract people like this? I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Look, it's the way the world works. It's got its balance.
Yeah,
okay, Jay and Silent Bob, it's a thing. It works. It's just you have your strong silence, and then you have your strong loudmouths. It's just the way it works.
We really should have done Jay and Silent Bob costumes for when
It would have worked.
It would have worked so well.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's great. So this is a great episode we got coming up here. Season sequels that we is in right now. And what are we talking about today? Mr. Christian Ramey.
Sir, we are talking about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Who?
Horton, here's a who.
Who?
Robert Zombert.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
Halloween 2. This was released in 2009. Many folks are aware of this movie, and as we alluded to in the intro, this is probably one of the most controversial Halloween movies right outside of Halloween 3. But Mark, it's a rocky relation. It's like you know what the Halloween franchise is to me? It's like explaining the royal family, and they're like, oh yeah, but you'll be thinking, you'll be like, wait, is that the king and the queen? And they'll be like, yeah, but see, they had her killed because they didn't like her. You're like, wait, what now? Hold on. I'm trying to draw the lines. So he's her brother? I never understand it. And I'm a pretty smart guy. But every time, it's like a little scandal kind of thing. It's like explaining the royal family. Or it's like, I don't know, explaining the rules of cricket or something. You're just like, wait, what now? What's happening? It just doesn't make sense, all right? None of the Halloween franchise does. I still love it. I love all the movies for what they are, but Elm Street's a little more cohesive. Friday the 13th's a little out there, but at least it's kind of like the growth of Jason. If you think about it, like little boy Jason grows into like potato sack head Jason, then he finds his mask, and then he keeps it. Kind of makes sense. I mean, you could tell that they didn't plan it that way. They just kind of worked off of it. Halloween, it's all over the place. This is like Days of Our Lives to keep up and understand what's going on. So I don't think that this story goes too far out there, but some people do. So I guess in the synopsis, I will do my best to explain what that's all about. But I really think people's kind of gripe about it is this is the first movie, in my opinion, Mark, and Rob's picture. Some people like Michael Myers as ambiguous. They liked the 1978, and I did too, that you didn't know who it was. Mm-hmm. But Rob Zombie explained it. He explained in the first one, little boy Michael, his family was all messed up, his mom's a stripper, yada, yada, yada. Things were weird, you know. This is how monsters aren't born, they are created. Which I enjoyed that take myself personally, and I know lots of others did, but some didn't. But this is just a continuation of that story. But Mark, I tell you a little, what's frustrating about it is, since the first Halloween movie, since the first one, literally the second one, they make the parallel of Laurie Strode being Michael Myers' sister. The third one doesn't have Michael Myers. The fourth one, we incorporate a niece, and she's like clairvoyant with Michael Myers, kind of has that like Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker thing, like they can always like feel each other no matter where they're at, and they have visions of each other kind of thing. Okay, all right. And then that goes into part 6 where they explain Michael to be some kind of like legend of the Thorn who's brought like through witches and like a coven of people. And then we have Busta Rhymes fighting him on a reality TV show. All right. And then he comes back as if none of that happens to fight, Laurie Strode as a teacher, which was cool. I liked that. That was a neat one. And then I didn't even hate H2O or Resurrection. I didn't hate either one of them, but they were interesting in their own right. So you're all over the fucking map here, but for some reason, people act as if Rob Zombie was the first person to like give Michael any kind of weird backstory or depth. All of them have. Whatever. I digress, and we can move past that. We can also move past the fact that he's the reason that they didn't go straight to DVD. If we just get right into the story of this one,
hit me with it, baby.
It's similar to Halloween 2, the original. Like, Laurie has a hospital dream, which is very reminiscent of the first Halloween, or the second Halloween. You understand what I'm trying to say, where Jamie Lee Curtis is running through the halls. Mm-hmm. Pretty creepy. Honestly, I don't like hospitals because of that. Very impactful to me. I've just never really liked hospitals. I feel like Michael's in there somewhere, or something is. I don't know what it is. I just don't like them. I don't like fluorescent lights, and just, I don't want to be a part of that.
It is a very depressing place.
You just don't want to be there.
No.
Ever.
No. Never. Nobody wants to go to a hospital. Okay, yeah, nobody wants to be in the hospital. That's like the one place that you don't want to go.
You might have like kind of cured me of it right there, Mark. You got a point. That was like the stop it kind of thing. You're like, nobody wants to go.
What's that skit from?
Mad TV.
I can't stop. Okay, well, stop it.
If you don't know what we're talking about, just look up the Stop It skit from Mad TV, and you can thank us later. So Halloween 2 takes place. Laurie survives, Annie survives from the first movie, and these girls are messed up. Laurie is now living with Annie because her parents were obviously butchered by Michael Myers, living with Annie and her dad, Sheriff Brackett, and who is played by Brad Dourif, Chucky, by the way. So they're both messed up, and Rob takes a deep look at like the psychology of like the pain of these victims and how it would be if you really had a situation like this. Because some of the Halloween movies ran into funny parts, and even not saying you won't have a chuckle throughout these movies, but there's some pain in like these murders. There's some like it's almost like a tad noir where you're like, damn, that's dark, dog, like that. Which, as a fan of horror, those are the only things that are usually going to make me move. Not saying I don't enjoy comedy or things of that nature, but if you're really wanting to kind of maybe gross me out or throw me off, I need like a little bit of a gut punch to be like, yo, not going to forget that one. This movie is kind of filled with kills that are like that are very in your face, very visceral, things that you just will not forget. People complain that Michael Myers is too big in his movies as well, which I don't understand that complaint at all. Like, he's supposed to, like, that adds to it. I feel like if you're like, I don't know, 5'11", I'm going to piece you up. You're just not as strong. You're just not as strong as all of us. If you're like fucking the Undertaker walking through the door, everyone's like, hey, yo, this guy means business.
Yeah. It's not, the bigger you are, the more intimidating you are. So,
yeah,
you know,
like that's how I see him. Mm-hmm. That's how I see him.
Yeah.
There's some great kills in this. He really is trying to get Laurie, obviously, because they're siblings. That's how I'll always see them anyways. And it's the final confrontation of that. And also Dr. Loomis. So let's look at this, too. Some people don't like that they made Dr. Loomis. In this one, he made a book about all the murders and about Michael. And he's kind of like pretty much profiting off of all of, the blood money of the story of all this. And nobody really likes him. Mm-hmm. I mean, he does kind of come through and save and help Michael. And he's always got the intent to help, but he definitely sold the story. And it's Malcolm McDowell. I mean, Clockwork Orange, dude's a great actor. Mm-hmm. I thought this was a realistic look on how people would take this dude. Because you remember in the first, we always talk about Donald Pleasance's role within the Halloween franchise. Everyone else is, totally, get me another beer. The evil within his eyes is the darkest of the mind. Like, he's over, like, he's theater acting. Mm-hmm. He's over the top selling Michael, very poetic, and everyone else is like, Tom, is that yeah? Like, they have just the, yep, you're gonna die, boys. They just have that. Whereas he did not. So I think in this, it was a more realistic approach. I love Donald Pleasance. I'm just saying, I don't think this is that disrespectful. And if I mean, obviously we rated the Halloween franchise. I put the first one, Rob Zombie's, way higher on the list than this one. I know this film has its limitations. But obviously, Rob has also publicly stated that he had a lot of turmoil with the studio. And he was making this movie with the Weinsteins, if that gives you guys any kind of, some weirdos there.
Yeah, maybe you heard of them.
Some real fucking weirdos. Weirdo, huh? So that was a problem for him, and he said it was a production nightmare. And he's tough on himself as well as a lot of the folks out there. But I think if you can look past that, because there are so many horror movies that people adore, they love. They're saying like, oh, I love this. Like, I love Return of the Living Dead. So you're going to give me, get over here, Bert, come on. Like, you can get through, like, I love that movie too. But things look fake. There's funny moments. You can't dissect every little thing. I think a lot of people that hate on him, and they don't give a shit what he's creating, you know? But that's all I'll say about the hatred of it for that. But, Mark, there are some brutal kills in this movie.
Yes, there are, and I love them.
I do too, dog.
I love them. I gotta say, Rob Zombie's Michael Myers is my favorite of the Michael Myers because I like just his brutalness. Like, that's how I envision if Michael Myers was a character. If you told me who Michael Myers was, just explained it. Like, that's how I would picture him.
That's how, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So, I love his brutalness of it. The kills are, very brutal. Some of them be like, oh my God, like, you know. And he also, Michael Myers still doesn't talk unless he's a kid, and I get that. But I liked how he at least had him, like, breathe hard.
And he grunted a little.
Yeah, grunted a little bit. Yeah, I like that. You know, you can't just sit there and just do this and not make a sound. That shit's impossible. Dude, you make a noise, you make a grunt getting up from the couch after you sat there for 2 hours. Like, you're telling me this dude's going full blown stabbing someone, and he's not gonna grunt or do anything? No. So I like how he grunts there.
You know, ladies make fun of guys. Like, that's a thing in lady culture where they make fun of their man. Like, if they make noises when they get up, and it's bullshit because it starts young, Mark. It's already starting, and it only gets worse.
Mm-hmm. You sit down in the vestibule, you sit down like so for some reason you gotta let all of the air out of your lungs.
Watch somebody's dad do it. It's
No, it happens to me every time I get out of the car. Oh, there we go. All right. It's just a little extra boost you need to get the job done. What's your favorite kill though? Do you have a favorite kill in this movie?
I don't know if I can really pick a favorite, but the Octavia Spencer, she's the nurse with Carolyn Williams, the chick from Texas Chainsaw 2, Stretch.
Yeah.
Is it Carolyn or Caroline? I always forget.
I don't know. I am not a horror nerd, so I will not be able to provide this information.
Yeah, you
to
will.
You. No, I
Carolyn.
will not. Carolyn.
Yeah.
Caroline.
Caroline.
All right. Carolyn or Caroline? Which one is it?
Carolline.
Caroline. I don't know. It's one of those names that you could say either way. Who cares?
Carol.
Yeah.
Christmas Carol.
Right.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Which is great. That's what makes Rob the best horror caster of all time. Hey, she was awesome in Texas Chainsaw. Great scream. How good are you? And he's like going through her leg. I love it. Love that whole thing. We discussed that film.
Yes.
When Octavia Spencer gets stabbed, and Michael Myers comes in, and she's like on her stomach on the ground, and he just starts going in, and he's just like, I think Rob does a great job, because he is a musician. He does a great job of like panning out music, and then like he'll have just the most subtle background music, and he always picks great soundtracks.
Yeah.
Or at least great choices for me.
Especially that song that's playing on the TV in the dream.
The Knights of White Satin, the movie blues. Oh, yeah. Great stuff.
Yeah, it added to the eeriness of it. I liked how he did that.
Yeah, it did.
So that's a good one. Mine is the stripper kill.
Oh, she's hot.
He just straight takes her and just smashes her. And after like the third hit, she's just flopping around. Every man has had that fantasy of doing that to their significant other at least once in a lifetime.
I'm sure every woman's had that. It's the same thing.
Right. Anybody who's in a relationship, let's say, has had that envision of just doing that one time. But
hey,
it just cracked me up, man.
Old boy that plays the strip club owner. And that's the scene, really. That's one of my favorites, too, that I can't live without. First, you have Jeff Daniel Phillips. I love that guy. First off, he's one of the few people in this world who have larger teeth than I do. and second off,
Hey, guy, I already sent somebody to the emergency room.
I already sent some jag off. I love that because he always understands the assignment. Like, every role I see that guy in, he's actually a really good actor, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it's criminal that he's not used more.
Well, he's just not, I guess, superstar looking, so, you can only go so far.
He's unique, though. Like, I feel like if somebody knew him, like, those people that maybe on film you're not like a 10, but like if you were just an average person who lived in the neighborhood, like they would be considered way different, like more attractive.
Sure.
If that makes sense. He's a cool cat. I really fuck with his style of acting. But he said, I already sent some jag off. He said, so why don't you get the fuck out of here? And Michael Myers doesn't have a mask on. Rob had a choice of not to. And I like that he had him as some big, gritty guy with a long beard because you're telling me Michael Myers shaving this whole time? Like, that's weirder to me.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It does, the way he has
made
him.
things kind of try and make sense because this movie has this franchise has a history, like you said before, of not making sense. So he tried to take, I believe he took his own take on it to try and make sense of it a little bit more.
what Michael was feeling and thinking when he was just on his path.
Why is he doing this? You know, I guess that's your take on it. And some people might not like that. That's fine. I mean, it's all based. That's the beautiful thing about movies, man. It's all based on opinion. I didn't mind it. The White Horse, and you asked me to look at it on the Patreon episode to notice, because the White Horse scenes. A lot of people have issues with the White Horse scenes and all that. I didn't mind it. It didn't bother me. I mean,
don't feel like it consumed the movie.
No.
I feel like the kills and Laurie
kills and Laurie and Dr. Loomis's story, like, that's what consumed the movie. It's just, you got. I mean, Michael Myers is by himself. You have to do something. You can't just have him walking in the scenes. You got to have something. He doesn't talk. This is a silent killer. What's he gonna do besides kill people? I guess you got to give it some reason.
Mark,
you know?
I know you don't. You're not like I've got a million films under your belt, but you know that scene where he's like walking in the field in the woods, and like they do this beautiful zoom over. Like, how do you think they did that? A helicopter? Because 2009, I don't know if they were using drones at that point.
No, drones. 2009 is when I graduated high school, so drones were not. I'm sure there were drones in like the military and shit, of course,
right? But they weren't like
public.
advanced.
Like they weren't going around all willy nilly like it was now. So it definitely looked like a helicopter to me, the rate of the speed and all that. And
That's
I'm sure
cool.
that you got, you know, the budget that you had for it. I'm sure you could have hired a helicopter to roll by one day, you know. So it's definitely a helicopter, I think.
Okay.
To answer your question.
Yeah. You know, also too, let's not undermine the what's that guy? Not that Sons of Anarchy guy that met him in the cornfield with his daughter and that guy.
Yeah.
He goes out there and tries to beat him, and that just does not go good for them.
No, not at all. And what sucks too is he had to eat the dog. Like, come on, man. I know you're going for shock value and all that, but come on, don't eat the dog.
I was like I was very mad he killed the dog, but a little less mad when he ate it, because you're like, okay, he's eating. Like, you could have ate something else.
Right, and he didn't show him killing the dog, which is good. You know,
but it wasn't just like he just did it to do it.
Right.
But he did do it in the original movie.
Yeah. Right.
But
So
back to the strip club, the owner and the Frankenstein. That guy kills me. I love that guy, but he understood the assignment too. Not only like he pulled the first stupid rule of a gun. First off, you don't ever put a gun, walk up on somebody so you're like, so they can grab it. Like, you have a gun. Like, that's the whole reason you have distance. Like, don't, that's the whole, right? Like, you know, like that's
no, man, that thing was a little 22 pea shooter.
For sure.
You know, wasn't going to hurt Michael Myers.
I don't think it would have either, but the
No.
last thing I'm doing is getting closer. Like, I mean, if you're, like, at a distance, just run. But, like, he cornered you. You're not going to walk up. I wouldn't. You just, that's, like, gun safety 101.
Yeah.
If this guy, like, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's a masked lunatic. But if I walked up to you with a gun and put it at your face, your instinct is to push it. Like, people who haven't taken gun classes have seen that technique of how to push and roll a gun. It's just common instinct.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to shoot me. Like, I don't know. Or you're going to get your arm broken, or I'm going to, like, just, get the weapon out of your hand.
Yeah.
So many people, like, ladies could do that to a full-grown man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I don't know. When I see that movies, it infuriates me a little bit. But it's so funny because Michael messes this guy up. Stripper just runs for it. Then they see the Jeff Daniel Phillips character just hung up and his head stomped in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he gets his shit, like the Frankenstein guy gets all beat up, and he comes out, he gets a compound fracture in his arm, so the bone's sticking out, and he just runs out. This actor is great. He's just like,
it's pure chaos, man.
Like, he was so great. Like, not often do you, like, dudes have a couple different ways. Not everybody's. Some guys want to be the Clint Eastwood. I mean, I do. You do. Like, nobody wants to be the guy that comes off as, like, a big biatch on film. So when people Danny Trejo had a hard time in the first one. He's like, man, I'm a tough guy. Like, I don't want people to see me this vulnerable. And he's like, nah, man, that's what's going to make it. And it really did. Like, that's a powerful kill people didn't forget.
Yeah.
But, like, you remember in the 2009 Friday the 13th, the blonde, curly-headed douchebag kid Trey, there was a body thrown out when and it landed on his car, and he was just like, like he screamed like a girl. That's awesome, man. Like, I like when people can put their pride aside and can really lose their shit, like, you know, like this. So,
yeah.
I don't know. It was a lot of fun for me to see the Frankenstein guy all busted up. And he just fucking smashes his head against the wall to shut him up, just like, shut up, bitch.
Yeah. Brutal. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Also, I like the guy who was hosting the party.
Yeah, that's Jeff Daniel Phillips, actually.
Yeah.
He's one of the very few characters within the Halloween franchise to play two separate characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fun.
His fucking joke. I got a joke for you guys. They're horrible. I forget what it was.
He says, like,
I forget what he said, but it was a horrible joke.
What do a blonde and a pumpkin have in common? They got 3 holes and they're shallow or something, and hollow or something.
I forget what it was, but it was funny. His vibe was fun, hilarious in that.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else is one of my favorite scenes in this? Like, any dad really could feel the scene. So, Brad Dourif, voice of Chucky. He's in Lord of the Rings. He's in Deadwood. I mean, he's a top-tier actor. He's great. Exorcist 3. I love when he gets really mad and shouts, too, because you hear the Chucky come out.
Mm-hmm.
I want to shoot you so bad. Like, you can just hear the Chucky coming out. But there's a part where he gets pizza with his daughters, right? I mean, with his daughter and his daughter, you know, with Annie, practically his daughter at this point. And they're eating, and he says, man, he said, you guys ever wonder who the original Starvin' Marvin was? And why I say this is because when you have kids, I have kids, like, you really tone it down. Like, I'm not coming in talking about The Exorcist right away. Like, you learn how to tone down, especially for your daughters, you know? So, like, your job is to be kind of like, hey, what's wrong? You know, just to be there for them. And then anybody has had a million of these conversations where he's sitting there, he says, so, you guys ever wonder who the original, like, Starvin' Marvin was? Where'd the saying come from? Maybe it's Lee Marvin. They're like, who's Lee Marvin? He's like, you don't know who Lee Marvin is? Capaloo? and he says, you know, and he shoots and he misses the barn. And the kids are just like, what the fuck are you talking? If you have kids, you'll have a dozen of those moments a week.
Oh, yeah.
They won't know.
It's very realistic for sure. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it makes me laugh every time because he kills that scene. He just sits down like, I don't know what world I'm in. Yeah. Like, I don't know what's going on.
I liked Dr. Loomis's struggles that he has because everybody's just being a dick to him and watching him get pissed off. Best is the book signing. Like, I don't know why this is hilarious, but he's getting the book signed. He's taking the picture with some hot redhead, and he's like, "Are you a real redhead?" That's what he did.
Yeah, that's great. The party was a lot of fun, man. I liked because she had these little friends that weren't her original. That wasn't Annie. These girls she worked with, they're kind of more like punk, if you will, alternative, work at a record store. They go out to this Halloween party with her, and then they get messed up. But I like how her friend was dressed up as Tim Curry, you know, from Rocky Horror Picture Show. She's like, look, I'm a dude that's dressed up like a chick. Like, I'm a girl that's dressed like a dude who's trying to be like a chick. It was like, whoa.
Do you know what I think of every time I hear that?
What?
It's like a Tropic Thunder. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
They could never make that movie now.
No, they can't. Absolutely not.
But she gets destroyed. Everyone gets destroyed. I mean, honestly, it's dark in that sense. But I don't know. To me, Mark, The kills speak for this movie over anything, but I really like that feel. Some people are like, oh, he's got his like white trash filter on it. Maybe I'm a little white trash. Okay, maybe I'll come from white trash.
Well, this is just, there's all kinds of different types of horror movies, dog, okay? All right? Robert Zombert likes a little bit of brutality in it.
And a little bit of trash and smut, and I do too.
Yeah, I like all of that. It's entertaining to me. It makes it feel more horror-ish.
You know that old dude that works in a record store? His name's I forget his name, the actor, but he played in the WKRC, the Cincinnati show, way back in the day. Remember with the turkey drop?
Yeah, I think he looked familiar.
Yeah,
like I couldn't quite pick my finger on it. But once again, the casting. There's so many, especially, his casting is always on point. Fantastic.
The dude that played the strip club owner, the Frankenstein guy, he's the one playing Grandpa Munster in his new Munsters movie.
He practically looked like him.
He does. He's got that look.
You know what I mean? But, yeah, man. I mean, a lot of people don't like this version of it. I think it's just fine. I think it's a different take on it, obviously. But you need that. You can't just recreate it and make it the same thing. That's kind of boring.
I feel like if you just took a random teenage girl and let her watch this, though, she'd be freaked out.
Oh, yeah.
She'd be freaked out. She'd be like, nope.
Michael Myers is notoriously fucking scary,
He's so scary, man. Do you like the masks that he makes, or do you like more of the OG style masks?
I don't know. I really don't have a preference. I like them both.
I feel you.
I feel that, this kind of more gritty. It matched who he was. Like, he's obviously been out for a while, so his mask is the mask is old, so it's going to deteriorate, She rips off half of it, too, and, I liked it when it was, like, just showing his eye, because that's, like, the first kind of glimpse you see of him as a person besides the mask. And it's always good because you're curious wanting to know what he kind of looks like, too. So that's a cool little thing they did. Like Jason in the remake when he takes his bag off or something, and these guys say, like, this shit ain't right, dude. Like, you want to know kind of what he looks like for a second. Why is this guy wearing a mask?
That guy follows us on TikTok.
Does he?
Plays him.
Good.
I know. I love his content. Hey, the girls, too, Danielle Harris and Scout Taylor Compton, the girl who played Lori in this, they got a little podcast going now, Talk Scary to Me. They're crushing it. They get a little bit more risque, talking about sexual stuff.
Well, they're hot, so,
Yeah, I think we are too, but we're humble.
It's a hot girl's world right now.
It is.
If you're hot, you can pretty much do anything you want.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's unfortunate having a wiener. But, hey, we can stand up and pee anywhere, so that's the give or take.
That is a plus,
It
dude.
is very convenient, I'm telling you. It is very
Whoever
convenient.
designed that was thinking.
Like, finding a restroom for a number 2 is difficult, but imagine having to find a restroom to do a number 1 all the time. Ladies, I'm sorry, Hey, but, you take the good with the bad here, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But this is very interesting. I want to know more things about this, and these guys are here. They're going to bring them in here, and they're going to do some things for us.
We gotta get up?
Yeah. Hi there. Welcome to the What Do You Know here. This is a segment here where we're here to tell you something that you may or may not know about this movie here. Now, if you know what you know, you already know what we know, and you're gonna know together, and you already had a we know-gasm, and you're in the afterglow. But if you don't know what we know, you're gonna have to find out what we know, and then you're gonna have a we know-gasm, and then you're a little bit behind, but it's gonna be fantastic. Just don't use toilet paper because it sticks. Anyway, so why don't you? You know what? I'm gonna tell you. Quick fact here. I got a quick fact here. Mine's a little bit quick here, but it's a quick fact here for Halloween.
Oh, you're gonna start us off with a little foreplay here.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's kind of like a foreplay fact. If you want to go in the gutter.
Yeah.
But foreplay anything, I mean, you pour the milk in the cereal. That's foreplay technically. So here we go.
Yeah.
So there's a man in this movie. You might know him. You might have heard some of his musical things that he's done. His name is Weird Al Yankovic. Okay,
Oh,
he's
I
in
know
this
him.
movie.
Yeah.
He's in this movie as himself on the TV show with Dr. Loomis, and he's giving him shit. He's making fun of him being Weird Al.
Yeah.
So weird little tidbit here is Weird Al said, Rob came to him, he's like, hey, Weird Al, I want to put you in this movie. And Weird Al's like, okay, I'll do it, but only one stipulation. Rob's like, what? You know, what is it?
It's like millions of dollars?
No. He was like, I get to wear whatever I want. Rob's like, okay. I mean, you know, you're Weird Al, so wear what you normally wear, I guess, if you're playing yourself. Which is weird, you know, because he's just in a regular shirt and pants.
That's what I'm thinking. He wasn't in like a banana suit or something.
It looked like he was late and he just grabbed what was ever on top of the dresser.
Hey,
you know.
and he was the first one to make like these. Says, now when we're talking Michael Myers, are we talking the Austin Powers Mike Myers?
How many times have you think people searched Mike Myers and got not who they were looking for specifically?
Exactly. Like, it was the first time that wall has been broken within a franchise.
Exactly.
Which I liked.
Yeah, it was good. That TV show was quite funny. You know, Dr. Loomis getting his balls broke. But, you know, what do you know here?
Yeah.
What do you know here? You know something?
Yeah, I do.
What do you know?
You know Margot Kidder?
No.
Well, I think you do. So, in this movie...
What the hell is that?
So, in this movie, Annie and Laurie are all messed up. But Laurie's been seeing a psychiatrist, right? She goes into the doctors.
A shrink?
Yeah, shrink.
Okay.
She's been going in there, or a psychologist, as a matter of fact. I think she's giving her medicine, okay? So that lady, that old lady there, that actress, her name's Margot Kidder. But in that movie, in Halloween 2, the doctor's name is Barbara Kalia. Dr. Kalia. But Barbara, that's her first name. Well, people might recognize that because she's played a Barbara before. You remember a 1974 picture by the name of Black Christmas?
Yes.
The mean girl, the mean one.
Yeah.
The mean Barbara. That's her.
Wow.
This lady's passed away, has since passed away.
I did not know that.
But that's why Rob's a casting genius.
Wow.
Right there. That's a little piece.
Yeah.
For your ass.
It goes a lot deeper than you think.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. What a fact here. There's so that I didn't know that.
Barbara. Twice. We seen her twice as Barbara. You didn't even make the parallel.
No.
She's like young and hot, and then she's like old lady.
Yeah, it's right over your head, right through your ass.
Yeah. You saw the progression.
Yes.
I'd still, you know.
Yeah, I know you would, because you're weird.
No, I wouldn't actually. But you know, if it was a sympathy thing, she was like, ooh. And you're like, I don't know. This might take a lot of work.
Stop it. Knock it off here. We're here for facts, not ha-has.
No more chuckling around.
No more feelings inside of my gullet. Anyways, tickles. Tickle my gullet. Any you know any other facts here?
You know, I think that's it.
Yeah, that was pretty quick, you know. We got them out the way.
Good stuff.
Quick little foreplay. There you go. Now you know something that you didn't know prior to this little thing happening.
Now, Mark, the $1 million question.
Mm-hmm.
The $1 million question.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Michael Myers be taking shits at?
Wherever.
I know, but like, you think it's just like a pop squat, no wipe? You think he you think he wipes?
No. This man ate a dog. This man is murdering people with pieces of glass. He's probably... I wonder how people can't smell him.
That's a good point.
Like, you know, he would be smelling pretty raunchy. Like, you know how he sneaks up on people sometimes? Like, you would smell it first. You'd be like, what is that stench? And you would be aware. You might be able to get away. But you know what we didn't talk about, Christian Ramey?
What?
We did not talk about how he escapes the ambulance.
We do love that scene. That's a fun scene.
I love this scene. So if you're not familiar with the scene, you probably are. So basically, movie kicks off after the first Robert Zombie Halloween, you know, and they take Michael Myers, put him in the ambulance, and they're going to take him to, you know, hospital or wherever the hell they're taking him. So, or was a morgue? I don't remember which one it is. You know what it is? Is it an ambulance or a morgue, people? Those two guys are.
Those guys were taking him to, like, the morgue.
Okay, that's what it is. Sorry.
So, yeah, just pretty much transporting his dead body.
Yeah. So they're having a little conversation talking about how he'd fuck a dead body, which is great. That one guy.
Yeah, that's Richard Brake.
Mm-hmm.
And this was actually Rob's first film with Richard. Sid Haig. You know, Captain Spaulding. He
Yeah.
made the recommendation to Rob. He said, hey, you should work with Richard Brake. I mean, he was the Night King for a little bit in Game of Thrones. Obviously, he played Doomhead in 31.
Yeah.
Dude's a great actor. He plays
One of the
Three
best.
for Hell.
One of the best quotes I've ever heard is from that movie when he first walks in. I apologize in advance for not sharpening this. That's like just the coldest, sickest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah,
But-
he's a great guy. Also, large teeth.
Yes. So what they do is they hit a cow, and it's intense. Like they made cow. Like you've heard, you've heard of how bad hitting a cow can be, and they display it. That is an intense.
It's like hitting a brick wall.
Yeah. So the cow goes everywhere, but the realest shit ever. He just says, "Fuck, fuck, 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 fuck." Every word out of his mouth is "fuck." And he's just in so much pain. Like I can imagine that though. Like if you got into a wreck, like that's the only word that your brain can probably process in the amount of pain you are. It's just "fuck." And you're trying to move. Fuck, 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 fuck.
Then he gets his like head sawed off damn near with a piece of glass.
With a piece of glass, man. Brutal kill. My God. That's some intense shit right there. One of the best scenes in the movie to me.
I like in her dream how that guy Buddy got killed. The security guard.
I hate why he got killed, Buddy. I feel like he's just like
Somebody's sweet grandpa.
or something like, God, why you gotta kill Buddy? Like
He gave her a coffee and shit. Just like, here, drink this. It'll warm you. Like, that's your work coffee. You just straight gave it. That's warm.
Yeah.
That's a spot in your heart, dog.
Yeah.
You just gave somebody your work coffee?
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate people. I don't like people a lot, man, but I feel like I would be happy to see Buddy every day.
Yeah.
If he was just the guard or something. Poor Buddy. Axe to the back, and it's stuck for a while. So, poor Buddy.
I like the little kid. I like how, like in the clown suit, that was a nice little nod, but this little kid just walks up to giant Michael Myers without his mask on. He says, "Are you a giant?" He says, "Can we be friends?"
Yeah.
He didn't kill kids.
No, especially ones in little clown outfits.
Yeah, he likes that.
That's
He's
how he
like,
started his shit, was a clown. He's got to look for the clowns now.
Nice outfit.
Hey.
Nice outfit, little motherfucker. That's how he talks.
Would you think a movie, if somebody recreated Halloween again and made Michael Myers talk, you think it would work? No, I don't think it would. But it would be funny.
Especially if he was real soft-spoken.
Yeah.
I'm going to let y'all know I'm here now. You got like 8 seconds to get out of this door. Where you think you're going? Come here. Hey, that don't even hurt me. The
Lloyd.
thing is, that don't even hurt. It don't even hurt.
Dude, do a voiceover of Michael, like, do that voiceover. Make it on YouTube.
I wanted to do like the voiceover one, make them like TikToks, just have Miguel Marrero, and
Yeah.
just have like mariachi music every time he busts in the door. Oh, no, it's Miguel! It's me! Jason was how I was unsure. I don't know how I'd do his voice.
I don't know either. Maybe a Sandra Bullock.
Ooh, it's me, Sandra.
That's so stupid. What's your favorite part, Chris Ramey?
Man, if I'm thinking of this film and why I want to watch it, I really do like the party, but I would have to say it's the strip club scene. That's just so funny. Mm-hmm. Enjoy the herpes, old man. Like, he's just like the relationship. It's just funny. He does great job with, dialogue and just funny situations. So that was really funny. And I like how Michael just like threw him on the ground and just like wasn't anything fancy. Just started stomping his face into lasagna.
Yeah.
And that's like, that's real. You could really do that.
Yeah.
Anybody could do that to you. Like, that.
Maybe not as quick, but it'll take a while. But but a 7-foot guy, big ass Michael Myers, he's gonna stomp your face in.
Yeah, dude, that's nuts. And the guy that played him, Tyler Farr, he was a WCW wrestler. His name is Big Sky. I mean, this guy's huge. He's at conventions and stuff.
Yeah.
just one of those individuals that, once again, if they were to walk in the room and you didn't know them, like if you were unfamiliar with what Michael Myers' mask was, but like Michael Myers of that size busted in the room, you'd be like, yo, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but this guy's probably for real.
Intimidation.
Yeah, first rule. Intimidation. Little Giants.
Yeah. I like the hospital.
Oh, the hospital. Okay.
The hospital dream that she has.
That was fun.
From the kills and the rain and the whole atmosphere of it.
The
is pretty,
music.
Yep. Everything about it. It's just fun.
I
Just
like
fun.
that.
It makes you feel like a real horror movie. Like I'm in a horror flick or something, man.
Yeah, and she was busted up. Her leg was busted and her hand was busted. So it was hard for her, the mobility. So you kind of felt that.
Mm-hmm. And the tense kills, too, of course. Well, now that we got that out of the way, Mr. Ramey, we must go into one of the most things I'm interested in right now, and that is your Sloppy Horror Podcast rating.
Sloppy horror rating, baby, yeah!
Woohoo! Yay! Welcome to the Sloppy Horror Podcast. This is the segment where your favorite scary movie companion, Christian Ramey, is going to rate this horror movie on a horror movie scale. How does he do that? Well, I'll tell you if you just give me a second to explain. People have no patience these days, I swear to God.
Just wait a sec.
Just wait a goddamn second. So, we're going to do this in a series of 4 categories. 3 of the categories worth 3 points. Last category is worth 1 point for a total of
10 points altogether.
Very good. So, if you're curious like me, let's get into the first category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is casting.
Here's the thing, folks. You know, when you play music like that, I feel like I'm on a talk show. Like I'm Johnny Carson.
That was the purpose of it.
That's what I like.
Yes. It's in tight.
Thank you. So casting's very high on this list. I don't know if I'm saying perfect on this one, but it's very high. Very high. I mean, he is a lord of casting, in my opinion, with horror movies. He surrounds himself.
He was not prepared for this category.
2.5 points.
2.5 points. All right. Makes sense. I agree with it completely. So that's 2.5 out of 10 so far here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. Let's go on to the second category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is kills.
Another 2.5.
Another. Okay.
It's
All right.
almost perfect.
Yes.
I need some more for it to be perfect, but they're brutal enough. They're things that you remember. They are definitely things you remember, but there aren't too many outside of like the brute force of his own hands or a knife. So for that, there's not much originality there, but holy shit, they're brutal.
Yeah.
Like even in the cornfield, I like how they backed up and he just saw it with silence of her dragging her out of the car and just, and you're just like, oh my.
They are kills that you remember for sure. Anybody who sees this movie is going to remember at least one.
Oh yeah.
For sure, guaranteed. So that is 5 out of 10 so far after 2 categories. Let's go on to the third final 3-point category here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is fear.
Mark, I feel like I have to be fair. Like, I feel like this is a current enough horror movie where it could be a 1.5. I feel like some, like, people's wives, or, like, because we're kind of accustomed to the brutal stuff. And, like, if you're listening to a horror movie podcast, like, you are watching probably through a lens of being a horror fan. But if you were to just, like, sit your mom down, or, like, somebody random and watch this movie, they'd have issues for a couple weeks. Like, I'm not saying all of them would be afraid, but I think this still, like, if you played this for a party of teenage girls, they would be freaked out. Like, if you flick the lights out in the room, they'd be freaked out.
Yeah.
They would not go downstairs by themselves. They would, like, you know what I'm saying? So, obviously, to people who love Michael Myers and have a different approach, no, you're not exactly afraid. So, you'll fall in the latter half of the 1.5. But I still think this has enough approach where it can be a 1.5. if you were just to show it to a group of teenage kids.
Yeah.
Because that's the only people I'm really thinking you're scaring anyways. I mean, I don't know. Somebody's wife most definitely could be afraid of this.
Yeah, or somebody's husband. I mean, some people are fucking wusses, man. What are you going to do? But, makes sense. So that's 6.5 out of 10. So far here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. Let's go on to the final 1-point category here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is rewatchability.
My half a point will go for a yes. What say you, Ozark?
I have to. I've seen this movie multiple times. It's very rewatchable, especially around Halloween time. So, yes, I will give it a half point as well. So that is 7.5 out of 10 total score for Robert Zombert's Halloween 2009.
Now, guys, if I was rating this movie as a cohesive, story-oriented movie, it'd probably be a 3 out of 10.
Yep.
It really would be. But the kills, the casting, if you're looking at this like, hey, man, it's movie night, we want to watch a scary movie. Not everyone in this room is a horror movie nerd or whatever. We just want to watch a scary movie. Is this something we could watch? Most definitely.
Yep.
Most definitely.
Yes.
So, yeah, I like that. But Ozark, man, here's the thing with Rob Zombie pictures. He's often quoted for cussing a lot, which we do sometimes. He's got kind of a nice trash filter on his movies that I like. And I don't even want to call it trash. It's just that's how it looks where some people grew up, and we kind of understand that. So I think it's fair that we get into your little segment of parental guidance so we can see what's going on for our age groups here. So let's hit the music.
I missed you, mister.
Mr. Ozark. Tell him if they're old enough. How old? To watch that scary stuff. It's for the parents who give a...
Whoa. That's right. We're in there. So, boys and girls, this is Uncle Ozark Mark's parental guidance segment. And what that means is we often get the question of, hey, I'm looking for a horror movie for my kid to watch, or is my kid able to watch a said movie? So we like to do a fair assessment with each movie that we do, and Ozark is a pretty good assessment because he doesn't have kids, so you're obviously not going to scar a kid that's not yours. So if you're babysitting Mark, what age limit would it be before you could let them watch Halloween 2?
16.
I think that's very fair. 16,
just because if you're here and you get freaked out, you can drive your ass home, so I don't got to deal with you. Now, look, obviously, if you're a horror fan, you're obviously going to watch it, a lot younger. So that really doesn't apply. I'm talking about, like, the general public. General public person, if they're not a horror fan, let them watch it at 16. Because there's very brutal murders.
It's for the kids.
There's brutal murders. There's some titties. There's some, But it's more dark and trashy. It's gory. I mean, this guy eats a dog for shit. Fuck's sakes. He eats a dog. He cuts somebody's head off with a goddamn piece of glass and then throws it on the ground. Like, there's some imagery that if not the accustomed to this type of stuff sees it will haunt them for a little bit. So you got to be careful and just, you know who it is. But 16's just the safest. I mean, the movie's rated R, so I mean technically it should be 18, but I'm going with 16. I think you'd be all right.
There you have it, folks. If you have Halloween 2 and you're wondering what age the kids should be, Uncle Ozark says 16. They should be all right.
Bam.
So that's it, guys. That feels fair. I feel like we're all covered on the rating and our recommendation for folks of what to do. But Ozark.
Yes.
We didn't mention it.
What?
You distracted me.
By what?
It's hard work, man. This damn hard work we've been doing.
Oh, okay.
And we didn't mention it early in the episode. But folks, if you're having a fun time, if you love Ozark and I, and you fly through these episodes, and you're looking for some more content, you could find some. You could become a member of our Patreon. Okay, you go to patreon.com/sloppyhorror, and there we have bonus episodes. We have things that, it is subscription based, but not all of them are high tiers. There's a $5 one, $10 one, and $20 one. And folks, the reason I'm talking to you and your voice, because we're not selling energy drinks and manscaping products and doing all the corny stuff. That's just not Ozark and I. We do this through your guys' love and support, and you guys keep the lights on. You guys help us with that. So if you guys are interested in that, that is our plug for that, and we very much appreciate you guys. Obviously, we got merchandise on the way, and, check out the website, too. We've got some great articles going on. If you guys see those, share those.
Yeah, we're working on all the legal crap that you got to do to get it all said and done. So we're working on that, but it's going to be here soon. Like, stuff's already made, so it's just we need to put the pieces together because this is fucking America, and you gotta have all kinds of laws and regulations and LPDs, whatever the fuck it is. You gotta have it all squared away. You
gotta have it all situated, and that's what we're doing, folks. And we really do appreciate you guys. Actually, March 15th made our 1 year of doing Sloppy Horror together.
Wow.
And folks,
Time flies.
We love you guys, man. We got a nice little crew of people. I mean, all over the world. It blows my mind. It really does. And we see you guys. So thank you guys so much for that. And, depending on where you're at, leave a review, like, comment, share. All that stuff really does matter. We're not those annoying people who are going to beg you every 30 seconds on their video. But if you guys do that, it very much, we appreciate it. And, this is convention season coming up. So obviously we got Horror Hound here in Cincinnati. There's all kinds of stuff going on. You guys just keep your ear to the track. And obviously if you see Ozark and I, you better come say something, because we're going to have backpacks full of goodies. And I would much rather see, obviously we're out there to meet new people and new faces. But if you are a Sloppy Horror fan, I want you to get a little bit of flavor before a random stranger. So come see us. Say Ozark. Say it just like that.
And touch his teeth.
Mark. Say it just like that.
Dude, don't stop. Mark is such the most unappealing name to scream. It's like, it never sounds good. Never sounds good. Mark. It's not a good sounding name. It's not a
bad name.
Yeah, it's not a bad name, no. I'm happy with it. I'm not going to change it or anything, but I'm saying getting my attention in the yelling format, it never sounds very good. Yeah.
So, Mark.
Yes, what is... Oh, real quick, we got only a few short moments left in this episode, Christian Ramey, and what you like to do is give us a little hint. Hinty who on what is the next episode of the Sloppy Horror Podcast.
All right. Now, next week's episode isn't going to be as controversial of a film as this one, but I would say maybe a small tad bit of controversy. Some people say they don't like it, but I will say it's the most popular franchise within the last year or two.
Yep, that's a dead giveaway.
There's a lot of nostalgia for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
A lot of stuff going on, and it's a sequel.
Oh boy, I can't wait. I'm on the edge of my seat. This is gonna great.
And it's not the fourth or the fifth one.
Okay, well, that gives it away. Very good. So you got two options. All right. Well, Christian Ramey, what a great episode here. I hope you had fun like I had fun, and I hope you had fun in TV land or audio land like we did too. So,
Well, that's good stuff, folks.
yes, we will see you.
Here's the thing.
What?
Have you heard President Carter? He said gas prices are so high that he's had to take a horse everywhere. You heard this? I'm just kidding. I just want to have my own talk show one day. I mean, we kind of do.
You do already, you idiot.
Yeah, we're gonna do. Hey, we're gonna throw a massive live show.
What do you think this is?
We're gonna throw a massive live show.
Massive live.
I really do mean that, Mark. We'll get the people hyped up. We'll pick a date for it. We'll have some fun. We'll have multiple different, maybe skits, different things going on, all kinds of fun. It'll be a great live show. Folks, we have to find a date for that. And I really think maybe bring one more clicking hand or two to help us out in situations for a big live show.
Well, you're going to have to.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what it required? Okay.
Oh, right. Yep. I think the Wayne's World aspect of it will make it fun. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's what will make it fun.
All right.
All right, folks.
That's it. Say goodbye and all your goodbyes.
Good night, folks.
Okay, goodbye.